Alright guys, I know it's disorganized, but hang on to your hats. Here's how we dry basil around here. Got this old freezer. This is our chicken freezer. I got a friend who restores freezers that have been abandoned by people. Got this from him. He did a great job fixing it up. It's a 1960s Kelvinator. And what I like about it is that it gets really warm on top. Right now it's not doing too much because everything's to temp in the freezer, but oftentimes this will be almost uncomfortable to touch. I won't say oftentimes. When I put things in it that are raw to first freeze them and the freezer's working hard to get back to temperature, this gets uncomfortable to touch. Right now it's just warm, but it works as my dehydrator. This is all basil, came out of our garden. And when I put it here, it was not crumbly, it was green and fresh, and I had washed it, shaken some of the water off, laid it on these cookie sheets, or these are cookie cooling racks, I guess, or baking cooling racks. I have these large cookie sheets here. These are full sheet trays. And the freezer warms up the sheet tray and emanates heat up through here. This allows air to be getting in here, so trapped moisture doesn't make the basil mold before it dries. Once it's dry, you don't have to worry about molding. But all this has been dried over the course of about a week or two, sitting on top of my freezer. I used to use a dehydrator. Actually, before that, I used a dehumidifier. But this freezer is already working, so I'm not doing any extra electricity to dry this out. So let's just bring this over and I'll show you what I do with it. Okay, so what I do here is, you can hear by the crackling, it's extremely dry, totally dry, no moisture left. I just grab the sticks and I, not too gently, just pull off all the leaves. All right, so after I've gotten all the sticks out of here, I'm just gonna dump all the basil onto the cookie sheet. We'll set this aside. I will take my container, set it on the cookie sheet, so if anything misses, it goes back on the cookie sheet and I can go after it again. And I'm just going to take some handfuls and drop it down in here. And this is how I preserve my basil. All right, guys, welcome to the kitchen. All that basil we've been working on. Here we go. Smells so good. What I use is this herb mill. It's made by Norpro. And it says it's for fresh herbs, but I've actually never used it for fresh herbs. I always use it for my dried herbs, and works well. So what I do is I get my basil, put it in here, and then I just start grinding. But you can see, I hope you can right here, a little pile of basil. So I'll do a little bit more. Bring in for a close-up look here. And, oh, it smells so good. It smells so fresh. So great right now. I don't have to worry about any moisture being in here, and this molding, it is definitely bone dry. If there were any moisture, if I put a lid on here and put this on the shelf, I could potentially risk losing this whole batch. Just a little bit of mold dust in there. I'm not gonna eat that, who would? But I know this is bone dry, so I'll put a lid on, and I will put this on my shelf till I'm ready to grind it up for seasoning and recipes and soups and whatnot. So that's how I preserve my basil that we grow in our garden. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was a helpful tip. Try using your freezer for dehydrating your herbs. Let me know in the comments if you have another way that you like to dehydrate your herbs. I'd love to hear. Thanks, guys. Let's see you in the next video.